That's a good book if you ever can read it. One of the things I've decided to do is start reading The Royal Path of Life. And this is a good book to be read. And if you don't share knowledge, you fuck over future generations of yourself. Let's see here. This is a 1885 copy of The Royal Path of Life. Aims and Aids to Success and Happiness by T.L. Haynes and L.W. Yagay. I don't know if I said that right. Yagay. Preserved edition, Des Moines, Iowa. All right. Life is before you. From the fated road you cannot turn. Then take ye up the load, not yours to tread, or leave the unknown way. Ye must go o'er it, meet ye what ye may. Gird up your souls within you to the deed. Angels and fellow spirits bid you speed. From Butler. Quick list of the chapters. And then the backside. The Royal Path of Life. We point to two ways in life. If the young man and maiden whose feet are lingering in the soft green meadows of flowery paths will consider these two ways soberly and earnestly before moving onward, and choose one of that truth and reason tell them leads to honor, success, and happiness, they have wisely chosen the royal path of life. The other way is too well known to need description. It is a sad thing, after the lapse of 20 years, to find ourselves amid ruined hopes, to sit down with folded hands and say, thus far life has been a failure. Yet, to how many is this the wretched summing up at the end of the single score of years from the time that reasons take the helm? Alas! That so few who start wrong ever succeed in finding the royal path of life. I don't know if I wanted you to say of life. Proving, even to its last burden years, a millstone around the neck. She's falling apart a little bit. She's an old girl. By day to trample underfoot the allurements of pleasure. It will hold his eyes, waking as he toils by the evening lamp. It will watch over his slumbers to jog him at the appointed hour and summon him to the cheerful duties of his chosen pursuit. Those who labor and study under the inspiration of such a purpose will soon soar out of sight of those who barely allow themselves to be carried along by the momentum of the machinery to which they are attached. Many pass through life without even a consciousness of where they are and what they are doing. They gaze on whatever lies directly before them. In fond amusement, lost. I'll talk about cell phones. Human life is a watchtower. It is a clear purpose of God that everyone, the young especially, should take their stand on the tower. Look, listen, learn. Whenever you go, wherever you tarry, something is always transpiring to reward your attention. Let your eyes and ears be always open, and you will often observe in the slightest incidents materials of advantages and means of personal improvement. In nothing is childhood more strongly distinguished from manhood than in this, that the child has no purpose, no plan of life, no will by which his energies are directed. He lives in a great measure to enjoy the passing scene and to find his happiness in those agreeable consciousnesses which from hour to hour come to him by chance. If his life is governed by a plan, a purpose, it is the purpose of another, not his own. The man has his own purpose, his own plan, his own life and aim. The sorrowful experiences of multitudes in this respect is that they are never men but children all their days. Think your work, then work out your thought. No one will be a worthy object with all the powers of his mind and yet make his life a failure. A man may work in the dark, yet one day light shall rise upon his labor. And though he may never open or never, let's try this. One day light shall rise upon his labor. And though he may never with his own lips declare the victory complete, some days others will behold in his life work the traces of a great and thinking mind. Take life like a man. Take it just as it is, an earnest, vital, essential affair. Take it just as though you personally were born to the task of performing your coming. Take it as though it was a grand opportunity to do and achieve, to carry forward great and good schemes, to help and cheer a suffering, weary, it may be a broken heart. Brother, the fact is, life is undervalued by a great majority of mankind and is not made half as much as should be the case. Now and then a man stands aside from the crowd, labors earnestly, steadfastly, confidently, and straightway becomes famous for wisdom, intellect, skill, greatness of some sort. The world wonders, admires, idolizes, and yet it only illustrates that each may do if he takes hold of life with a purpose. One way is right to go. The hero sees it and moves on that aim, and that the world under him for foot and support. His aberration is honor, his descent infamy. Man was sent into the world to be growing and exhaustless force. The world was spread out around him to be seized and conquered. Realms of infinite truth burst open above him, inviting him to treat those shining coasts along which Newton dropped his plummet and Herschel sailed, a Columbus of the skies. Some, because they have once or twice met with rebuffs, sink in disencouragement. Such should know that your own errors may often teach us more than the grave precepts of other. We console the young man never to despair. If he can make nothing by any work that presents itself now, he can at least make himself, or that is equivalent. He can save himself from the sure death of a pusillanimous, halting, irresolute spirit. Never be cast down by misfortunes. If a spider break his web over and over, he will mend it again. And do you not fall behind the very insects of your walls? If the sun is going down, look up to the stars. If earth is dark, keep your eye on the heaven. With the presence and promise of God, we can bear up under anything and should press on and never falter or fear. It is my firm conviction that man has only himself to blame. If his life appears to him at any time void of interest or pleasures, man may make life what he pleases and give as much worth both for himself and others as he has energy for. Over his moral and intellectual being, his sway is complete. That men fall into is that they do not use integrity and truth and good sense in judging of what they are fit for. They take the things that they want and not the things that they deserve. They aspire after things that are pleasing to their ambition and not things that are adapted to their capacity. And when a man is brought into a sphere of his ambition or which he has not the requisite powers, and where he is goaded on every side of the discharge of his duties, the temptation is at once to make up by he lacks in reality. Men are seen going across lots to fortune, and a poor business many of them make of it. Oftentimes they lose their way, and when they do not, they find so many hills and valleys, and so many swells and depressions and fallings, so many ups and downs, that by on airline, the distance might be shorter in reality. The distance is greater than by the lawful route, and when it comes back, they are the self in this world. Whereas the old-fashioned homely law that the man who was to must take time to lay the foundations of reality, and gradually and steadily build thereon holds good, yet though you and covered up with fantasies that distracts me, and find it almost impossible to believe it is so. Rely not upon others, but let there be in your own look first, mists and last to God, to aid you in the great task before you, and then plant your foot on the right. Let other live as they please, tainted by low tastes and a moral putrefaction, anyhow, be and feelings, nay, more incorruptible, like virtue herself. Your not narrow, false, and destructive, but savor of life to all around you. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with the salt of truth, honor, manliness, and benevolence. Wait not for the lash of guilt to scourge you on the path of God and heaven. Be the prudent who foresee the evil and hide themselves from it, and not of the sin are punished. Life to you is as a fairy tale, old age a tale read through, ending in death.